Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first in a series of podcasts. Today's podcast will focus on our university-bound students because the deadline is fast approaching. We will be sending you out a similar podcast for our college-bound students next week, as the deadline for those institutions is in February. So, without any further delay, I'll turn it over to Mr. LaRiviere.
Happy New Year, everybody. We thought it would be timely to update you on the university application process for this, our second St. Michael's graduation class. It's hard to believe that just 4 short years ago, we met you and your children for the first time, and the moment has finally arrived. First graduation, and then post-secondary placement. Congratulations to you and the hard work of your children. The deadline for submitting an application to the Ontario University Application Centre is Wednesday, January the 15th at 11:59 p.m. Students can submit their applications after this date, but tens of thousands of students will leapfrog their applications. We applaud the 107 graduates who took our advice and completed their applications before or during the Christmas break. You have avoided a lot of needless stress. So, what happens now? Students, you must continue to strive for the highest marks you can attain. We have been emphasizing the competition you will face since you first arrived at St. Mike's. There are 4 distinct offer of admission periods. The first admission period. Students with marks in the high 80s and 90s in their grade 11 U and M courses may already have received offers. Congratulations. Second period. We will submit the final first semester marks by February the 13th, and a large group of students will receive offers in March. The third application acceptance time, we will submit the midterm second semester marks by April 24th, and a number of you will receive offers in early May. And finally, May the 29th is the final date for a university to offer you a spot. Those students who have not received offers will be given a hotline number in June to contact universities still taking students. A university will give you one of 3 responses. The first and most desirable is an offer of admission. Or you might receive the least desirable, a refusal. Or you might receive a deferral, pending the receipt of additional information, like your final semester marks in June. If you receive an offer, and folks, this is a biggie, you must confirm the offer through the Ontario University Application Centre no later than June 2nd. Or quite simply, the offer will be rescinded. You can also expect a bill from the university shortly after this date. Read the bill very carefully and do exactly what it says. So that's it. Work hard and wait patiently. We have prepared you well. Now, here's a little true or false test to review a number of key concepts about the whole application process. The answer key is at the bottom, and if any of these answers shock you, please see your counselor right away. Thank you. Okay, let's get started with the university quiz. Question 1. Grade 12 university religion is rated higher than grade 10 M religion by universities in the province of Ontario. Everybody thinks the answer to this one is true, but it is false. And every university in the province of Ontario will accept a U or an M grade 12 course, and that would include the 12U philosophy or the 12M ethics course. Those courses are treated as equal. Question number 2. I am guaranteed a spot at an Ontario university if I take my 6th grade 12U or grade 12M course at summer school this coming summer. True or false? Well, again, many students feel that they can take their 6th grade 12 course required for university admission at summer school in the year in which they apply. And that is false. The reality is that after June the 2nd, the majority of spots in the universities in the province of Ontario have been filled, and there are very, very few spots left. And so taking a risk that your 6th grade 12 U or M course being taken at summer school will guarantee you a spot is very, very dangerous. Question number 3, true or false? Night school, correspondence, and e-learning courses are treated equally to day school courses by the universities in the province of Ontario. Again, many parents will be surprised to hear that this answer is true. A course is a course is a course. At this time in Ontario's history, universities are not fussy about whether the school was delivered in night school, via correspondence, or via an e-learning process, or day school. Each grade 12 U or M course is treated as an equal value. So again, the answer is true. Question number 4. My offer can be rescinded if I don't complete my 40 hours of community service by the end of this June. Is that true or false? Many parents and some students feel that the 40 hours of community service is a minor detail in the whole process of university applications. However, you need to know that the universities count the 40 hours of community service as part of the receipt of your Ontario High School Diploma or your Ontario Secondary School Diploma, and therefore, if it is completed, everything is fine, but if the 40 hours are not completed, the offer will indeed be rescinded. So the answer to number 4 is true. Question 5. A university prerequisite course can bump a higher course mark if the student takes more than 6 grade 12 U and or M courses. True or false? And the question is really saying if a student has 7 or 8 or 9 grade 12 U or M courses, and the majority of courses are very, very high marks in the high 80s, what happens if a mathematics prerequisite course has a lower mark? And the answer to this question is true. The prerequisite course can certainly bump the higher course mark if more than 6 grade 12 U or M courses have been taken. So it's very important that students are very familiar with the prerequisites that are required for their individual programs, or they risk not being accepted. So again, the answer is true. Question 6. Either of my parents can call a university to question information about my application to that school. You know, we have really done such a fantastic job of communicating with parents here at St. Michael's over the 4 years your students have attended here that many parents are shocked by the answer to question 6. And the answer to question 6 is false. The universities will only talk to the student that has applied. Although they certainly respect the rights of mom and dad to ask questions, the questions have to be asked through the students. Your sons and daughters are treated as adults in the application process for university in the province of Ontario, and ultimately it is the student that they will talk to. And I learned this with my own daughter and son as I tried to talk about their applications with close friends in the admission processes of both university and college, and I was basically told, Terry, you know we can only speak to your son or daughter. Question 7. My university application still gets processed by the schools if I don't pay my application fee to the Ontario University Application Centre right away. This one is another myth that many of our students feel is true, and that you have to understand that the process will not continue until such time as the fee is paid. And there are many ways to pay that fee. You can pay the fee through a Visa or MasterCard. You can pay it through online banking. You can pay it with a check. You can pay it with a money order. However, you have to remember the answer to this question is false. No information is forwarded to the universities until such time as the payment for the processing fee has gone through. That's very important. That can cause students to have their application dropped to way, way below tens of thousands of other applications because the payment was not made. That's the application fee for the University Application Center. Question 8. This is for students. I must continue to work hard in semester 2 even if I receive an early offer of admission. It is extremely important that our students realize that every offer of admission received before June the 2nd is conditional. And quite simply put, that means it is not firm. Every offer of admission is inherent upon completion of the final marks in June of all courses being taken second semester. Very few students in my history have taken a holiday after they've received their early offer of admission because they have listened to our advice, but some have. And if a student's average drops significantly, and I'm not talking 5 or 10%, we're talking much lower than that, the offer will be rescinded. So it's very important, students, that you continue to work hard and remember that the study habits you have in semester 2 will carry over into your first semester of study at university. And so all offers are conditional. You must continue to work hard and get the highest average that you can possibly get. The answer is true. Next question, question 9. St. Michael's will bump some of my marks if I am just shy of a university cutoff average. This question, simply put, means if I require an 80% average to attend Queen's University and my final average at the end of June is 79.2, my mom or my dad or myself can contact my guidance counselor, my teachers, or Mr. Scarcelli and ask them to consider giving me extra marks so that I can attend Queen's in September. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we have emphasized since the beginning of your students' start here at St. Michael's. It's a very competitive work ethic out there in our modern working world, and ultimately their university education is going to prepare them for that world. And we would be remiss in our duties if we were to tell you that we give marks so that students can get into a university. The answer to this question is false. The only way that students might be able to attain extra marks is if something horrible has happened in their personal lives or in their family lives over either first or second semester. For example, God forbid, a parent gets very, very ill, or a sibling gets very, very ill, or the student gets very ill, and through no fault of their own, their marks are adversely affected. That's a completely different situation. We would certainly look at a student that has had something adverse happen in their lives. However, to simply call and ask us to increase marks and to give them marks really is not the way the system works, and we don't feel that is in the best interest of our students. So again, the answer to question 9 is false. We do not bump marks. And the final question, question number 10. When I receive my early admission offer, I can ask my university to defer my offer of admission to September of 2015. Is this true or false? Well, again, this is a very, very gray area. However, each university does have a policy on deferrals, and the majority of the universities will allow your son or daughter to defer their admission to September of 2015. This may allow your children to go on a very worthwhile exchange program, or to take a year off and travel, or possibly to work for a year. There's all kinds of circumstances the universities will consider. There is no guarantee they will grant the deferral, but certainly it is the right of the student to ask, and the majority of universities, again, will allow that to happen. So the answer to the final question is true. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this first quiz, and certainly students, we're hoping, get a 10 out of 10 because they have taken our advice and have, right from their grade 11 year, attended all of our parent nights and our seminars put on by universities, have attended the Ontario University Fair back in the last week of September, and attended our post-secondary night as well this past November. And that if you have done these things and you've read all the information in your golden Applying to University brochure, you probably should have had a very high score on this test. However, and this is really important, if you were shocked by a number of these answers and your score was under 8, it's probably pretty important that you come down and have a chat with your guidance counselor, and we make sure that you are on the absolute road to being placed in an Ontario university for the fall of September 2014. It's been an absolute pleasure working with your kids over the past 4 years, and if there's anything we can do to help, please give us a call. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our very first podcast on university applications. Stay tuned for our second podcast, which will feature our college-bound students. Have a great night.